Okay. Can everybody hear me? Okay. This is plugged in. I'm charged up. Okay. I'm about to read all of the crimes that she is responsible for. Okay. You need to forget about everything you learned in history or everything you think you were taught. Okay. You have to wipe all that out and know that she did this as leader of the Charles Manson cult. She did this secretly and she used artificial intelligence for all of it, most of it. Before her, artificial intelligence was invented in the mid 1950s. Okay, her Columbus descendant bloodline before her demonic cult, them, okay, before she took over Charles Manson in 1968, they're responsible for before that. She will be held responsible for all crimes her bloodline did throughout history. Okay, she is responsible. She did these crimes. I can prove in 5 minutes or less she did every single one of these crimes. Her satanic bloodline, Christopher Columbus, Charles Manson, her leader is Charles Manson, committed all these crimes. Okay, Martin Luther King Jr., Elvis Presley, Eric Garner, Terrence Crutcher, Harvey Milk, Watergate Nixon scandal, Exxon Valdez oil spill, BP oil spill, Malaysia Airlines Flight 17, 9/11, the World Trade Center and Pentagon in Pennsylvania attack, 4/19, Alfred P. Murrah, that's the Oklahoma City bombing, Abraham Lincoln, Princess Diana, Marilyn Monroe, John F. Kennedy, Robert Kennedy, Jonestown Massacre, Tupac Shakur, Biggie Smalls, D.B. Cooper, Zodiac Killer, Black Dahlia, all of the Charles Manson murders, all the ones that we know about today, okay? She did all of those, including taking Sharon Tate's life. Scott Peterson, Marvin Gaye, Son of Sam, Oberlin, Boston subway derailment, Lincopin, PG&E wildfires 2017, Virginia Beach shooting, Sri Lanka terror attack, Jessica McClure, 737 flight, Jalalabad suicide bomb, Pan Am, Columbine High School, Space Shuttle disaster, New York Lights Out, El Paso shooting, Steve Scalise shooting, Gabby Gifford shooting, New Zealand terror attack at Christchurch, Notre Dame Spire fire, Oliver North scandal, Iran-Contra, Ed Snowden, U.S. Ambassador death, John Gordon Maine, U.S. Ambassador death, Cleo Noel, U.S. Ambassador death, Adolph Dubs, U.S. Ambassador death, John Christopher Stevens, Odessa, Texas shooting, Operation Eagle Claw, Richie Valens, Selena, Debbie Ford and other Ochsner employees attacked. That's a company I worked at in New Orleans. She committed a lot of assaults there on a lot of people. So I'm using Debbie Ford to stand for every employee that Gene Roberts assaulted there as leader of Charles Manson. Jimi Hendrix, Natalie Wood, Flint, Michigan, Tree of Life massacre, Columbus Circle shooting, Orlando nightclub attack, Nice, France attack, Prince, Jimi Hendrix, Las Vegas massacre, Ricin attack, Don't Ask, Don't Tell, Basket of Deplorables. I want to stop right there. Don't Ask, Don't Tell, and Basket of Deplorable. Those are like the things that they come up with politicians to say in Washington, and then they put it all over the TV and the media. She comes up with those, and then she ice rapes people and puts it inside their teams, and then it gets rolled out. Those all decode out to Charles Manson Knick-Knack Paddywhack code that tells you the level of invasion she has on the government and military and police, okay? So she came up with those. She did all those. Eazy-E, Garland Mosque shooting, Charlie Hebdo attack, Virginia Tech shooting, San Bernardino shooting, the WHO attacks, lack of a better term, AIDS, cancers, diseases, etc. All genocide diseases. I've decoded this. TWA Flight 529, Amelia Earhart, Wounded Knee Part 1, Aurora shooting, Wounded Knee Part 2, Linda Gonzalez, that's my aunt, Mary Lou Bordeo, that's my first mother-in-law, the Sharon Noble disaster, 1998 U.S. Embassy bombings, Boston Marathon bombing, Allentown explosion, original World Trade Center attack, Sharon Tate, Jimmy Hoffa, Whitney Houston, Wendy Williams, Leonardo DiCaprio, Tucker Carlson, Michelle Obama, Fort Dix shooting, Atlanta Olympic Central Park, Ascension Parish 5 dead, Livingston Parish, Bali 2002 terror bombing, 1975 LaGuardia Airport bombing, Bubbles, the .com, the housing and the cars, and all the telecom. Deregulation, John Belushi, Gilda Radner, Chris Farley, Phil Hartman, shock and awe, Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Democratic National Convention 2016, Democratic cyber attack, Britney Spears, Rosa Parks, the RMS Titanic, 3 Mile Island, Sarah Palin and family, Chicago hospital shooting, anthrax incidents. She heavily assaulted Trump's entire presidency. So I just listed his entire presidency, everything. She is like his number one stalker, okay? Reagan and Trump, okay? She stalks both family lines horrifically. Janet Jackson, Allentown, Pennsylvania, tires and rims stolen from Slidell. Dan Quayle, the potato setup. Somalia, Battle of Mogadishu, PCP murder in Tulsa, Terrence Crusher, I already listed him. Agent Orange, that's from Vietnam. Sri Lanka, Francis Malloy, U.S. Ambassador. John Mean, U.S. Ambassador. Roger Davies, U.S. Ambassador. Arnold Raphael, U.S. Ambassador. Malcolm X, 7 countries in 5 years. Michael Jackson and family. Gaddafi, Afghanistan war, Iraq war, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Tampering with 5 presidential elections. Ronald Reagan, NWA, Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, Ren, Beyonce. Then we have CNN, Bob Dylan, O.J. Simpson, his lawyer, all of O.J. Simpson's network, Madonna, her family, all of my family, past and present, Kamala Harris. 1 out, 2 in, Supreme Court justices, future terror plots, which we're in right now, which I've decoded, which if you look at a 5-sided dice, that's the symbol, okay? We're in that terror attack now, and that will carry us through probably beyond 2100, but we will be gone by the year 2100 if Jean Roberts gets her way, okay? I told you she is committing a worldwide global extinction terror attack, which everyone will be gone by the year 2100. Okay. Brad Pitt, Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, Kobe Bryant, Patricia Cahill, Karen Smith, Stephanie Flores, Jacqueline Kennedy, stock market crash 1, 2, and 3, Evander Holyfield, Rihanna, Chris Brown, New Edition, Luther Vandross, Benito Mussolini, World War II, the Holocaust, ICE at the border, tear down that wall, this is your brain on drugs, the beginning of the FBI, arranging presidencies, stealing Kanye West's life, tornadoes in Texas, Katrina, she does weather manipulation, she did a slew of tornadoes that I decoded in Texas, which was near Mesquite, Texas, and she also did Hurricane Katrina. She also did the Joplin tornado. She also did the tornado in Ulaga. She also did the tornado in Stroud. Spanish-American War. She also took Jesus Christ's life. Her bloodline took the life of Jesus Christ. Natalie Holloway, Arnold Schwarzenegger. World War I, Farrakhan's family, hospital ships, the Patriots versus Bills game, Deflategate, she did that. She's also the one that came up with Tide Pods and snowflakes. That's all the code where she makes fun of millennials. Okay, so that is all of that, and I've decoded a lot more here. I'm going to pull up this file. Hang on a second. And I'm going to continue recording, and I'm going to read this file. So this is more people's lives that she's taken. And I still have hundreds of more crimes that she's done. She is responsible for all these as leader of Charles Manson. Okay, Herman Cain, Elijah Cummings, Ben Carson's baby, James Gandolfini. Okay, he was the star of The Sopranos show. The massacre in Sedona, where people were locked up in the retreat in the sauna and they died. George Michaels, Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Russell Martin, who's a friend of mine, his parents, Maya Angelou, Delta Reese. She also broke into Mar-a-Lago, Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Virginia Cook, that's Jeff Cook's mother, Ken Cook, that's Jeff Cook's father, Tim Cook. I don't know if he is alive or dead. I keep being told he is deceased. I don't know if he's alive or dead, but I know she's ice raping him. I know she's doing something to him. If he's no longer here, I know she took his life. Austin Ashby, that's my Uncle Austin. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Tracy Bobo's daughter, that's a friend of mine. She is also ice raping animals and insects. So, and adding that in there. Malaria, it's another disease she's got released. Allen Iverson, Marilyn Monroe, already reported. Jesus, already reported Afghanistan wars. I'm going through this. Norman Schwarzkopf, who actually still is alive. He's being held hostage by her. He is being held hostage in Houston underneath a NASA facility, and she is also holding NASA employees hostage as well. She runs a gigantic hostage racket worldwide. He is still alive. Afeni Shakur, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and family, Sam Cooke, Langston Hughes, Muhammad Ali, Watts riots, Freddie Mercury, Eddie Van Halen, Burt Reynolds, Ray Charles, Left Eye, Patsy Cline, DMX. Okay, then we have the Charles Manson murders that everyone knows about. She took their lives also. So this was... Sorry, I'm trying to move over the... She's robotically controlling me because she does not want all of this. She's guilty, is what she is. She's trying to mess with Christina, is what she's trying to do. Okay, so that would be Sharon Tate, Wojtek Frykowski, Stephen Parent, Abigail Folger, Rosemary, and Leno Bianca. John Hughes, Heavy D, Princess Diana, Dodie Fayed, Sam Kinison, George Carlin, Barry Masters, Adam Yaw, Robert Earl Davis Jr., John Denver, John Ritter. People missing in Hillary Clinton's camp: Patty Hearst, Patrick Dermott, Roy Horn, Steve Irwin, the original actor from Spartacus on Showtime who died of cancer. Mavis's parents, I call her Mavis, okay, because she is the Antichrist. She took her parents' life also. Old Dirty Bastard, Dusty Hill, Richard Wright, Nate Dogg, Charles Schultz, Jack the Ripper. She is related to Jack the Ripper. She brags about this. I've decoded it. She brags about this. She even calls herself Jack the Ripper in Decode. She is responsible for all of his murders that he did in England. Okay, I decoded those and I found a Bauhaus in England and gave that to Farrakhan, NWA, and Snoop Dogg. They gave that to England. They know that there are Bauhaus there, and they know that he had people at Bauhaus, and they know that she did this. That is her bloodline. She will be held accountable for the murders of Jack the Ripper. Davy Jones, Janis Joplin, Joplin Tornado, Pablo Escobar, Fidel Castro, the Ayatollah, embassy bombings in Mexico, Gaddafi, Aretha Franklin, Sandy Hook, Patrick Swayze, Steve Jobs, Biz Markie, Bob Barker, Also, I have a huge concern, which I would have no way to research this, is to look for missing rabbis out there. Any rabbis that are missing, or any any Jewish leader out there, that all needs to be researched and decoded to see if she is responsible for taking their lives. So that is the list. That is not the complete list. I have hundreds of more crimes that she's done, but these are all crimes I can prove in 5 minutes or less that she's committed. She is responsible for all of these deaths. All of them.